Hey, what's up, Street Gods? It's Eric from the Eric Street Photography God. So, today I'm going to talk to you just some basic street photography tips and my experiences shooting street photography in New York City. So, for those of you guys who've never been to New York, it's probably one of the most amazing places to shoot street because it's just so full of energy, full of like this intensity on the streets. New York's one of those places that I always love to visit, but I don't know if I'd want to live there full time. And I just want to give you guys some, to share you guys some of my photos and give you guys some tips in terms of how to make better street photos. So, if you all look at these images, just Google Eric Kim New York street photography. So, one of the first tips I have in street photography is wait for people to notice you. So, I learned this tip from Thomas Leuthard. So, a lot of my photos, actually almost all my street photos nowadays, are shot on the Ricoh GR version 2, and it's a 28mm lens. And what I often do is I try to get really close to people and keep clicking, and I usually keep the camera on P mode, program mode, ISO 1600, black and white mode. And you can download Eric Kim free presets for the raw processing. But anyways, I keep clicking, and when people notice my presence and then they look back at me, it often makes a more interesting street photograph. So in this photo, I'm probably about less than an arm length away from this woman, and I kept clicking, and I just waited until she noticed me, and then the moment she turned around and looked and I clicked, it made a much stronger image. So another pro tip I have is when you're shooting street photography, take photos while people are talking. So a lot of people often think it's rude to make photos while people are talking, but I would actually disagree. So in this photograph, I'm shooting these photos without flash, and I'm doing, I think, -1 exposure compensation or something. And as I'm clicking, she's telling me a story. And to me, having this motion and this eyes closed expression, it's something that I did not pre-visualize before I made the photo. And so a lot of the times, you just have to take a lot of photos, and you might get lucky and get one good shot. So in this case, I might have taken 20, 30 photos of her, and this photo I discovered afterwards when I'm looking at the photos in Lightroom. Another practical tip is when you're shooting street photography, just kind of get inside the crowd. One of the best ways to make better street photos is to put yourself inside the action. So this is why I love shooting in New York City. 5th Ave, 7th Ave are some of my favorite streets. And just getting really, really close to people with a 28mm lens. I'm not a big fan of cropping. I'm a big fan of widening the lenses. So if you're using a point and shoot like a Ricoh, a 28mm lens, or a 35mm lens on a camera with a viewfinder is often stronger. And I often like this dynamism of women, people walking outside the frame. So this is another photo that I shot in New York City. So I learned this tip from my buddy Charlie Kirk. It's called the cutoff technique. So you see somebody walking down the road and down the street, and I love the glasses on his face. So what I actually try to do is, while he's walking towards me, I cut across him and I shot head on. And effectively, what happens is you can see all these leading lines that just go straight into his head. And I like the triangle in his face. And the photo's actually slightly out of focus, but I don't really care too much. And you can see the little selfie of me inside the glasses. So because I'm shooting with a 28mm lens, you want to shoot head on, or else the photos aren't going to be as dynamic. This is another photo I shot of this guy. Apparently he's pretty famous. For those of you hype beasts who are into streetwear, there's this streetwear called Supreme. They're essentially the coolest brand. But anyways, I'm outside the Supreme store, and I see this guy. He looks pretty cool, and I'm just chatting with him, and I'm shooting a bunch of photos with flash, and I'm commenting on his outfit and whatnot. And I didn't anticipate to make this photo, but while he was talking, he was adjusting his eyes. I shot this with a flash, and once again, it's what they call the unguarded moment, where he's actually not anticipating me to make an image. And this is what makes the photo good. And I used the flash on the Ricoh GR, little pop-up flash, getting close using macro lens. Must have shot like 20 photos of him. And the moment he does this, and you could see the flash, allows you to see his eyes. And I asked him to stand against a simple background, which I think makes the image much more interesting. So this is another photograph I shot of this woman. So I'm at some sort of like hipster sausage restaurant in New York City, and see this beautiful woman, and I loved her hair and her eyes, and she's kind of coming inside and out of the light. And asked her to stand inside the light so I could make a portrait of her. And I shot this photo at maybe -2 exposure compensation. And the effect it gives you is that she lights up, but the background goes totally black. In this photo, I cheated a little bit. In Lightroom, I used the adjustment brush to actually darken this area here. I burned it. But I kept these little lights here, dot, dot, in this one eye, and I just love the curve in her hair, and just so beautiful. So probably one of my most famous images I shot of this laughing lady in New York City. So the way I was able to shoot this, you just Google Eric Kim laughing lady contact shoot. I see this beautiful lady walking down Fifth Ave, and essentially the way I was able to make this image was I just commented on how beautiful she was, and I just kept clicking, and I wasn't actually quite sure what image I wanted. And somewhere in the middle, she's like, "Oh, you're crazy, ha ha ha," and she starts laughing, and that's when I caught the decisive moment. So often in street photography, you don't know what you'll get until you put yourself into the scene. A common misconception people have is that, oh, you're supposed to not disturb people or whatnot, but I think putting your soul in the photos makes it much more interesting. Another photo of this old lady. She told me she was 90 years old on the way to church. Saw her near Fifth Avenue, and I just shot this photo in macro mode, 28mm lens. And one good tip is, if you want more engaging photos, try to get people's eye in the center of the frame. It's a tip I learned from my buddy Adam Morelli, who's very well versed in composition. And I just love the colors. I love the red hat she has on, the lipstick, and just like the proximity and just the leading lines. And she was very short. She was maybe 4'10", and I just crouched down very low, and I shot maybe 20 photos of her as well. In this last photo I shot in New York, it was a street photo I shot of. I was walking the streets in New York, I think at night, and I'm shooting this with my film Leica with a flash 24, the Leica SF20, and shooting this Kodak Portra 400 at, I think, f8, 1.2 meters. And as I'm walking, I just see this poster, and I just reacted, and I just shot this immediately of this woman here in the foreground. And I just got lucky that the flash bounced off its eye, so it kind of gives it this weird Big Brother 1984 feel. And so I would actually recommend, yeah, definitely using more of a flash in street photography and trying to get this surreal imagery. So these are just some practical street photography tips that I would give you guys. And also the reason I made this video is I actually have a workshop coming up in New York City. So just go to the Eric Kim blog, click on Experience. I got a few more spots in my New York workshop 2017, October 4th to the 5th. So yeah, just Google Eric Kim workshop or Eric Kim experiences. Click the link. I'll also include a link below there. But just know that when it comes to shooting street photography, yeah, don't be afraid to put yourself into the frame. The best street photographers are the ones that you're the only one who can make it. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Peace out.